Heyo everybody, welcome to another episode of Haku of shitting on a One Piece anime episode. Yeah. I think that this one is the kind of episode that I'm likely going to be a bit critical on. I'm probably going to be a little bit harsh on this one. But before I get into my review, I want to say, if you're looking for the, if you're on my channel and you're wondering where the Tower of God review for today is, it's going to be tomorrow because I just got done with what I was doing before recording the Kisnaiva review, and I recorded that and I'm recording this, but I didn't think I would have enough time to actually write my Tower of God review, record it, and get it up and all that. So before I lost decent lighting, so I am just going to push that back to tomorrow and hopefully post this and my Kisnaiva review tonight, which is Tuesday night? I think it's a Tuesday. Should be. So I hope you all enjoy this review and let's get into it. Okay, so starting off with this, we have the citizens chasing Luffy, and the citizens are really lame. In Dressrosa, the citizens are so lame to me. So yeah, I didn't necessarily like that, but I knew it was coming. It's whatever. They did the best they could with it. Then they had the Marine in-canon filler that I do not remember at all, where Luffy squares off against those Marines, gets shot with the net or whatever. I didn't mind that. I didn't mind them adding that. The only thing that I wouldn't be a very good reviewer if I didn't point out is they use still frames like a motherfucker. They used a shit ton. Pardon my French, that's a bit more cussing than I normally do in these, but they used a hell of a lot of these still frames. So where they just had one image and they shook it around on the camera a bit, so or on screen a bit. So I wasn't the biggest fan of that. I don't really like those animation shortcuts. I understand why stuff like One Piece has to do it, but it objectively does not make for a very good episode, and I gotta look at this objectively even though I love the series and love the anime. But again, Luffy plans to distract all the Marines and citizens and stuff while Rebecca runs off to meet Kiros at his house on the Sunflower Hill, at the little field place, the sunflower field on the hill thing, where Kiros' house is. And I freaking love Kiros. She runs to go meet him, and we get flashbacks and we see Kiros, and for some reason Kiros' face is way off model. It looks like a Dolan comic kind of spoof of Kiros. It does not look like Kiros at all. He has this weird dark upper lip. His face is super wide. And I know some people were complaining about that. I think it was last episode. But I think this was worse, this episode, with that. And the animation with Rebecca running to meet him and the flashbacks was terrible. I don't even think they reused that much, because the stuff that happened in the actual flashbacks when we first saw them was way better looking than this. This looked really shitty. And another problem I had with it was, in the manga, these few chapters, I didn't like them because they were kind of a distraction from the actual story going on, but at least I thought that this one, the chapter that this was based on, was pretty feelsy. And the feels were not here for the anime, at least for me, because they really overdid drawing it out. Drawing it out a little, I think, would be good to build the emotion, but they drew it out so much that any emotion I had could not linger anywhere, and I just kind of lost it, and I was losing interest, okay, when are we going to get to this? And of course, the animation that was probably some of the worst we've had in a long time, maybe since the Doflamingo and Luffy stuff that looked really bad. The animation was pretty damn shit. And even beyond that, Rebecca trips and falls and then lays on the ground 3 or 4 times. And I'm well, you're laying on the ground monologuing to yourself about trying to make it to him on time. How about you actually just go and make it to him on time instead of laying on the ground monologuing? That was kind of annoying, and it was... I kind of do like Rebecca, so she gets a lot of hate for being pointless, And episodes like this make me think, damn it, I can't argue against the people arguing that she's pointless or that she's useless, because she just got defeated by walking like 4 times. So Rebecca then meets Kyros, and I thought this was really feelsy in the manga. I did like them meeting in the manga, but here it was just, Rebecca was off model most of the time, and there were a couple frames where Kyros was as well. He had that really wide face again, like his face was stretched out almost like Boa Sandersonia's. And Kyros doesn't typically look like that, so it just really bothered me how off-model and bad the animation was. And it was so distractingly bad that I couldn't get into the scene. Like, ordinarily, I'll be like, okay, that animation might be a little bad, but I'm still more into the scene than judging the animation. But this time it was so bad that it was just distracting me how bad it looked. And then after that, I think we get Fujitora's arrival. No, we get something before Fujitora's arrival. We get the stuff with Riku and Viola. And is it just me, or did Riku's voice actor change? Like, his voice sounded different to me this episode than it normally does. It seemed deeper, more gravelly. He almost sounded a bit like Elizabello to me, maybe? But we get the Straw Hats and the Allies, and Law is not with them. They're going towards the Eastport. I think they finally make it there, and Fujitora shows up. And man, was his entrance ruined. Like, I was expecting it to be really badass, and the animation was so bad that it looked like a little freaking elementary schooler cartoon drawn with a crayon. It didn't look good. And then Zoro pulls his sword and slashes at him. And there's a huge animation jump with that. Like Fujitora's arrival, and then massive animation jump when it cuts to Zoro. And the animation jump, thankfully, sticks around for the rest of the episode. It's not like super amazing animation, but it's like noticeably way, way better from the time Zoro slashes. Like, I made a point in my notes to say it was weird how, like, everything before that the one sequence where Zoro slashes, everything before that looks noticeably way worse than everything after that. Even the flashes to the Marines and stuff were animated way better in the episode after that point, which was really strange to me. So the Tentatas coming in clutch. They stole some Marine weapons. Leo, my man Leo, I freaking love Leo. He tied a bunch of Navy ships together, and that's badass to tie the ship, to like sew the ships to one another. So that's really awesome. And of course, all the ones that are paralyzed, we find out that it's because the Mancheri's been taking too much blood from them, and it's sort of draining all their energy for her healing powers. The little, I think they're like dandelions, healing dandelions or something is what she calls them. So I did think that was pretty cool, and it was really interesting to see that all play out. And we do get confirmation. Law meets here with Sengoku. Why was I forgetting his name? And it was really awesome. I loved the monkey, the gorilla, whatever, just sitting around there. And it was feelsy. I loved seeing Sengoku talk about Corazon as if he was his son. So, like, man, I felt that. I really liked that. That was an amazing scene, and I was really critical of the episode before this, but that was a really good scene with Law and Sengoku talking, and going back to the flashbacks as well. Man, that was really good. Sadly, like, a really good 4-minute scene doesn't make me want to give a high score, because to watch that, you also have to watch the sort of 15 minutes of really not so great stuff. Stuff that I think could have been good, and I see what they were going for with a lot of it, but I think that if there was a little bit of bad animation to cut the budget, a little bit of still frames, a little bit of dragging it out, that's fine. I know that sometimes they need to do that, and I see where they're going with some of it, but I think that they cut the animation too much and made it too bad. They used way too many still frames. They reused too much animation. It's like a case of too much of a bad thing. It wouldn't have been bad if there was a little of that stuff, but they did way too much dragging it out and adding all the sort of crappier stuff. And pretty much where we end with this episode is Law saying, yes, I was the child that Corazon saved with the white lead disease. So again, that was really a really good scene for a really not so great episode. Honestly, it's sort of close to the middle. It's like not the worst thing ever. I'm just really critical at the parts that kind of deserve a bit of criticism. Next episode, we see that it looks like Luffy is going to be fighting Fujitora, so get hyped for that. I'm pretty ready for that. I think it's going to be a pretty good episode. Maybe even a great episode, depending on how much of the manga they cover in that, because there is some great stuff about to happen in the next episode or two, maybe next 3 episodes, but there is a lot of really good stuff coming. And honestly, from this episode on, unless we hit a filler arc, I think from this episode on, everything for the next at least 20 to 30 episodes are going to be pretty fire, because I absolutely love where the story goes after this chapter that we just covered. So it looks like that Law and Sengoku may be done talking. I doubt we'll get much more with them, and we'll probably get a lot of the Luffy Fujitora stuff, and I'm not going to spoil anything past that, and it's not really spoiling to say that there's going to be Luffy and Fujitora stuff, because we clearly see it from the title of the next episode and the promo. It doesn't look like they're giving away too much in the titles of the next few episodes, which is good, which is very good. I'm glad they're not giving much away. So I may or may not do live reactions to the next few episodes. It's like I'll record it, and if something good happens in that episode and it's a good reaction, I'll just chop it up and put the little good parts, and I'll either throw it in with the review or make it its own video. And I'll just do that for like whatever episode where the big stuff happens, I'll do it there. And when I do that, I'm just going to have the audio playing. I can't show the videos, of course, or I will get copyright striked to hell and back. And I would prefer to not have that happen. So yeah, that's it. Let me go ahead and give this my score. I thought that the animation was very, very much subpar before that one scene where it takes the big jump. Everything after that is good, I think, but everything before that, they tried to do something okay, and it turned out really, really bad, in my opinion. Of course, my opinion can definitely differ from yours, but I think this deserves maybe like four Kiros Dolan phases out of 10. Like 4 out of 10, where it's like maybe not quite halfway for me. It's a little bit worse than average, but not like horrible or anything. So 4 out of 10, decent enough score in my opinion. So like if you guys did like this video, comment down there and tell me like tell me what you thought of the episode, if you thought anything different, if you thought everything was like what I thought. Also, let me know what you thought of my thoughts. Subscribe for more One Piece, the anime and manga. Tower of God, Walking Dead, Monmusu, Pokemon, Kisniver, a lot of stuff. Subscribe, check it out if you want. And follow on Twitter as well. I'll try to keep you updated there as best I can when it comes to when I'm posting stuff or pushing stuff back. I want to thank you one last time again for watching, and I will see you all next time.